I am Tom. I'm a super senior, and I currently am working at Integer. I just started earlier this month, so.
My name's Jeff Czapleski. I work for Casey's this summer. I'm a junior, double major in advertising and speech comm.
I'm Melanie Anderson. I'm a journalism major. I'm a senior, and I worked as a marketing intern for Thomson Reuters this summer.
I'm Brett Burial. I'm a senior in marketing. I worked at Target this summer as an intern, and I'm actually going back there full-time next fall.
I'm Morgan. I'm a senior in advertising. I'm minoring in statistics and psychology, and I was at Flynn Wright this summer in Des Moines.
I'm Bailey. I am a senior in advertising, and I was at Meredith Corporation this summer in the photography department.
I'm Ian. I'm a senior in advertising, and I was at Mud Advertising doing graphic design in the marketing department.
Well, I'd say the biggest thing is just get involved. Like they actually don't, I never ask about like your GPA or anything. They just want to like look at what you did. So like last year at this time, like I wasn't even advertising. So I kind of added this just kind of towards the very end, and I tried to do as much as I could. So I did like Cardinal and Gold, which Bailey runs, so that I thought was kind of good to get just different experiences, ad club, different magazines. Just try to do as much as you can. They like to see like actually things you did, as opposed to like, hey, I just took this class. Yeah. So that's things to do beforehand, is try to get as much experience in the real world as you can.
Definitely make a LinkedIn. That'll be your biggest thing. It's all about who you know.
I advise talk to your professors. That's how my sophomore year I was terrified to go into. It was JLMC 101, and they had covered like a research for like a day. I was like, I think I'm interested in that. So I went up and talked to my professor, and she ended up hooking me up with another professor who then hooked me up with my future supervisor. So don't be afraid to talk to your professors, because they have a lot of connections in the world. So.
I mean, for the most part with my resume, I kept mine pretty simple, to the point, getting a little more on the business side. You obviously have to have a little bit of fun with your font. You have to have a little personal spin on it. I didn't just go straight Times New Roman, bolded, boom, 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 boom. A lot of people do add a little flair with color. It's kind of cool if you just throw color on the main heading, like your name, just bring attention to that. It picks you out from the crowd. Really, really good to have that in your stacks, because they come out with stacks of resumes. It's just good to have one that'll just stick out to them, big in their eyes like that.
Like mine's as simple as I think I have like a blue stripe across the top underneath my name, and then a blue stripe across the left side. And so it's not much, but it's not black and white, and so it gives them something more to look at, something to kind of catch their eye.
Like at mine, they asked to write like an about you section. So I wrote a little bit about me. Since I kind of want to do copywriting, I tried to make it kind of funny and whatever, and they ended up liking that. Now I don't think that's good for every situation. Kind of look, if you go on the website, you can see like sometimes they'll have like agencies. If you go on the website, they'll have, you can click on their pictures of people who work there, and it has like things they like, things they don't like, you know, activities, favorite foods, stuff like that. Just kind of cheesy, whatever. I ended up doing that, and they ended up liking that because no one else had that when I did it. But I think you have to look at where you're applying.
Right off the bat, especially in interviews, I've talked to a few different employers, really have presence in the interviews. I mean, you can't just be rolling in the interview, going through the steps, going through the motions. You really have to be engaged, involved, and show them that you want to be there, that you know about their company, that you know that you have the skills for what they need. It's just bouncing off back. And there's a little bit of small talk that goes into it, but just being able to be personable and chat back and forth with them is one of the biggest things. Because I mean, they're not going to look for somebody that's a hermit, that's, you know, they can't talk to people. You need to be personable in our line of work. So that's, I guess, one of the biggest things I've seen.
You have to be persistent too. Like, I kind of like to use an analogy of a annoying little gnat that doesn't leave them alone. Like, I did probably 4 job shadows at the same company, and then emailed them, did my interview, sent thank you cards, like every time you go there, handwritten ones. Just have to keep following up with them, because people are really busy and they forget things. And so if you just keep being persistent, they'll realize you really want it. And so, yeah.
I agree with that. I had to email about 15 times to even get in the door at Meredith. So even when I got the job, they emailed out. Bailey was very persistent when getting this internship, which I felt really annoying, but you know, it's what you gotta do. And I'd also say, be willing to learn, because because I went into a photography internship with no studio experience at all, but I told them that I really wanted to learn how to do it, and so I think that's what really set me apart, is that desire to learn.
One more thing is pick up the phone and call the company if you're really that interested. Like this summer, I worked in media, and so I had to do, like, I had people trying to sell me stuff every single day. And it's very easy to just say, like, look for specific words and ignore it. But with the phone call, you kind of can't avoid it. Like, I guess I appreciate phone calls. When people give me a phone call and give me a pitch real quick, it's harder to ignore it, as opposed to an email where you can read it and then just kind of forget about it. Take 342L, whether you're a design student or not.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's one of the most beneficial classes you can take, because, like, at the very bottom of the info for when I applied for Casey's was, by the way, you have to know how to use, Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign. And if I hadn't taken 342L, they would have immediately thrown my resume out, because I worked with Illustrator every single day this summer, and just the basic knowledge you learned in there, it'll go a long way.
A general business minor, and I think that's helpful if you want to go to the corporate side, just so you have that general knowledge of how business works and all the different facets of, like, finance and accounting and all that kind of stuff. I think it would give you a foot up being an advertising major.
I am psychology and statistics because I want to do research, and I was like, okay, that's obviously what I need to have. But I didn't originally think that when I was in advertising. I just really liked psychology. I was like, I'm going to do that. So if you like something, take more classes in it, and then you don't know where it'll get you. Because I didn't add it until last year. So.
I have design studies, and I liked all the hands-on classes in integrated studio arts. So then I realized that I had more classes to do a minor. But it was really beneficial for my internship.
Yeah, I mean, I make mistakes every day.
Right.
Like, all the time, because some people aren't the best at communicating. But, as long as you learn from your mistakes, no one really, I don't think it's not a big deal,
Right.
As long as you, like, realize what you did and not do it again, you're fine. So, as long as you have that ability to learn, but don't be afraid to make mistakes, because they're going to happen. Everyone makes mistakes. Like, even the people in charge mess up all the time. So.
I deleted a whole file of data, so can't top that.
Project was, I got to do a set of 4 billboards for Brush University in Kentucky, and that was pretty cool. I got to see it all the way through, design it from scratch. They'd send me their feedback, I'd tweak it, and for all I know, there's billboards in Kentucky that I designed. So.
We had just signed a sponsorship contract with a military base in Kansas, and we were running a bunch of ads with them, and our design team basically said, hey, we're swamps, can you do this for us? And so they gave me free reign to pretty much go out and design coupons and ads that are still running to this day. And so it's something really cool to put in my portfolio, that they basically allowed me the opportunity to just take it and run with it and have fun.
One of our clients is Blue Moon and Coors, so they always send us kegs. So, like, every Thursday and Friday at, like, 3 o'clock, everyone kind of quits working and just drinks for the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, last week was National Talk Like a Pirate Day, so they hired pirates to come in and play pirate songs, and we had, like, rum and stuff. So we always have, like, parties and stuff, like Bring Your Dog to Work Day. There's always a party at least once a week.
I got to be in the test kitchen, so all the food that they make that's in the magazines, we get to eat after it's shot. So I had to go home and work out every day, because they had cakes and cookies and everything was free. And I don't know if you guys have heard about the Meredith Prop Room, but it's like every color of dish that you can imagine, and every piece of home decor that has ever been invented is in there. And they use them for shoots. Well, they'd clean out the prop room every once in a while, so I'd come home with pillows and lamps, and my apartment's really decked out now because of all the free stuff.
If there are no more questions, I think we'll conclude this intern panel session. Thanks a lot, guys, for having me. It's been a lot of fun. And we'll take like the next 8 to 10 minutes for you guys to talk to them if you want, exchange card information. They're a great resource to have, obviously, so get to know them a little bit, talk to them, mingle, network.
Next meeting is in 2 weeks.